So today we're going to take a look at the Cut Above layout kits that are included at the start of each of our seasonal catalogues. They come with two really lovely and quite different layouts in each kit, and they are pre-designed for you. So they're ready to go. Everything is pre-printed on the papers. So let's have a look at what's inside. You have all your photo mats and bits and pieces for doing your or placing your photos. You also have a whole sheet of die cuts, so these just fold out really easily. You punch them out. You've got a whole bunch of die cuts. You've also got a whole bunch of stickers, so these are all lovely, strong, sturdy stickers you can do things with. And then you have your base pages. So the first base page uses a stripy paper, and so you see some of the base stripes have already been laid for you. And the second layout uses this lovely deeper speckled background, charcoal background, with some grid paper already pre-designed and all put together and printed on the paper for you. Then of course you also get our really sturdy page protectors that are awesome for preserving those pages once you have completed. So there's quite a lot in the kit itself. You can choose to follow along with the directions, which are very, very simple, and create the layouts exactly as is. These layouts can be put together in 20 minutes easily. You can get a couple of layouts done if you have an hour a month to get a bit of crafting done, and you can get some of your family memories preserved really easily. So they are a great design for that quick, efficient scrapbooking. However, we can play around with these. We have got all these supplies in front of us to play with. So let's have a little try at seeing what we can create using the supplies included in this Cut Above layout kit. So here are all the supplies that are included in the Layout 1 kit. So I've punched out the little bits and pieces, I've got the stickers ready to go, I've got all the photo mats, instructions and background paper. So I actually thought, if you look at the original, they've included the stickers in between all the stripes on the page. So let's just take one of these background pieces. We'll pop our little embellishments to one side. So we'll take one of our little layout pieces and have a go and seeing whether I want to keep the stripes in the same spot or whether I want to remove them and do something a little different. So let's just have a little look-see here. So we have got, it goes this way round, we are encouraged to place this big wide one at the top, and we have got the skinny one here plus another skinny one comes in of blue and so forth. However, I could stretch this out and make it stripes all the way up if I wish to, which is what I'm starting to think could be a good idea. So I'm going to use my little guide of the mat to get me started, and I'm going to go give this a go, trying out some of the stretching. So here I am placing the strips that come in the kit at different places all up and down the layout. It is at this point that you could choose if you wanted to keep the colour palette the neutral look with just the blues and greens, or whether you do want to introduce this red. Of course, you could also use up all your stash, so you might have lots of zip strips and other strips in your stash, and this would be a good time to put a couple of those colours and patterns in if you wanted to. So I'm just using up all the stickers that did come in the kit to give this effect. And then I've decided I don't really want that dark blue border around the outside, so I'm just trimming that tiny piece off all the way around. And then I've created myself my own patterned paper. So a stripy paper is so useful for many, many things, but I figured to stretch it across 2 pages, a double layout, I'm going to cut it up into strips. So there's my measurements there, 5.5, 2.5 and 4 inches is what I ended up choosing to do. And that was plenty to be able to spread the effect of stripes across my page. So as you can see, I have decided to put them onto White Daisy. I tried a few different colours and I could have pulled in lots of colourful brightness, but I do like to work with a base paper and give them a little bit of treatment instead. So what I'm pulling in is our brand new Aquarius Stickles. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and I'm also going to do a little bit of blending with the Sundance ink just to pull in a bit more of that yellow. So what I'm doing is just working out where it's best to have that blending. So I'm pulling in my stripes to give myself a visual guide, and then very lightly touching up the Sundance blending ink in a few little patches. And I'm going for 3 places on the right hand side, and then you'll see I do another place also on the left hand side. So those are sort of going to be my key spots for embellishing or just for adding a touch of interest. Now that I've got that ready to go, I can put in a little bit of splattering. That just takes away that real stark white background. And I'm actually using a fan brush, a wet fan brush this time, with just a little bit of ink from the ink pad, just blended in. It just adds a nice little bit of sapphire interest. Now here's the fun part. This Aquarius Stickles is gorgeous, and it's got a really lovely sparkly star that comes out through it too. It's going to be a little bit hard to catch on camera, but these little patches, I'm just doing 2 patches, but they do look absolutely stunning when the light catches them. So it's just giving a little bit more interest to the page. So now we've got everything laid down, we've got the background done, so let's grab the photo mats and see what we're wanting to do with those. So the original layout, we pull it back in, pulled the photos across the center, which would look really lovely. I'm kind of thinking I might do something similar on this side, maybe with your photos a bit like this coming into that patch, but the other side I may switch it up a bit and pull in this kind of effect, just so that we're using all of the page and it looks reasonably balanced with our strips of paper going on. So if I do something like that, I know I've got a few other extra embellishments. A couple of them are these. Now these are going to work quite nicely coming down the edges, but being white, they're not really showing up. So I think what I might just do here is give them just a touch of colour, and because we were using the Sundance before, I'm going to stick to the Sundance and just do a little bit of sponging all the way along. Keep it quite soft. And that little splotch bit up there, and we'll do the same on the other side. Blend it along, and that's just going to give us a little bit more contrast with that piece, because it wasn't going to stand out particularly well as it stood as being white. So if we pop that back in, let's just see if that effect is going to help. So if we pop that down that side, yep, I think that's going to work. It's just going to stand out a little bit as being a strip of interest. There we go. So that's quite nice. We can also start to play with some of the embellishments. So we did have, let me just have a little look-sees. We did have this little cluster, Show the World Your Magic, which could come in across over here with a little bit of sparkles showing up. I'm thinking I actually want a bit more of those sparkles to show up. So we'll pull this all along, and I'll grab that sticker sheet. And here's the little sticker that they put behind. So I'm just going to remove the stickiness so that we can play with this a bit more. So I use my Rub and Remove eraser for this job. Just tap this off over here. All I'm doing is going over the outside. So there's a bit of powder comes off, so I'm doing it off camera. But because we've now got that sort of powdery substance, it's not going to stick permanently. So, Show the World Your Magic still looks pretty cute. If we have it tucked over here, we can either raise that up a little bit so that not too much of the photo is covered. Show the World Your Magic can sit down in that little cluster. Now there were a few tags in the series, so I'm thinking I might still stick with keeping a tag up that way and keeping a tag, as this one says, over here somewhere. So let me just think about this. Maybe over here would work quite well. Then, oh, we had the happy as well. The happy they have chosen to put down the bottom. I'm just going to place that up in our nice little shiny cluster up here. And then they had these 2 little pink tags. So we can tuck them under just like they did. But I might overlap these 2 together, just out of interest. And then we've got some little cute little hearts to place all over the place. So let's just put a couple of little hearts there. We might just do a little, maybe a heart kind of idea going on over here. Maybe pull that heart in over there. And we had 2 more hearts. So let's just find a little spot for them. Something a bit like that. So it's coming together really easily now. We can still follow some of the instructions, but have the background as our starting point. So I'm going to play around with that, adhere everything down, and we'll see the finished product. Right, so it's all adhered now. So we've got the lovely little bit, I've got a little bit of foam tape raising this piece up. We've added in a few little stickers, little sticker hearts, and finished it all off so it's all adhered here. Now there's just a few little extra touches we could add in. We could look through our stamp stash and bring in some lovely embellishments with our stamping. I've actually thought we could play this time with these new die cuts word strips. They come in different colours. These are the white versions, which I'm thinking we could use and we could sponge up if we need to add a bit of colour. Now there is a gorgeous stamp set that's just come out too called Remember This Moment, and this has got so many useful little sayings, and of course they're going to fit beautifully on these word strips as well. So I'm thinking I might bring in a couple of little ones. I might just go for dovetails, bring in that effect, maybe something like that over here, and I could do a similar one or a double-sided one perhaps up here, and I can add in a couple of extra little sentiments. So this one's going to have that covered over anyway, so maybe we stick with the double one, or I could pull in this version here, which actually that looks kind of cute too. So maybe I could do something like that. So let's try out what we can fit on those little pieces for stamping. So I'll pull these two off, and we'll just flip over my mat. Pop these here. Now there is one side that has a little bit of a white, a little bit of a brownie tint to it, which I might actually use. So if this is going to be this one down the bottom, what have we got here? We've got Life is a Beautiful Ride, Choose to Shine. Choose to Shine is lovely. Let's grab that one in a little block. So I'm going to place it upside down on here and pick it up with my block to keep it nice and straight. Now, have we got any scrap paper? There's not much left on this, but I do like to just stamp a couple of times and make sure it's picking up the ink appropriately. So I'm going to use my sapphire ink. I'm still on the old style ink pads with this one because it just keeps going and going and going. Choose to Shine, yes, it's stamping really well. So we'll pop that one onto here. Choose to Shine, so that's going to pop in here with our little heart. Looks pretty cute. And the other one I'm going to pop up here, so I want it to go this direction. Just clean that one off. And then what else have we got? We've got Captured Memories. That sounds a great one. Can use that on almost any types of photos. Where was it? Over here, I think. Let's see if this one fits on. Yep, that will fit on really well. So once again, I will just do a little trial run to make sure the stamp is stamping well. Yep, it's beautiful. These are actually stamping really nicely, these titles. Pop that in the center, and we've got that other cute little title that I can adhere over there. So I'm loving these little word title die cuts. They have got a heap on them too, so you're going to be able to put on heaps of different little sentiments on your cards, on your scrapbooking, and we can pop them on as little extra embellishments. So I'll just finish adhering those and we'll look at the end product. So there you have it, all done, ready for some photos and a little bit of journaling. So I also, as you know, I only used one sheet of that patterned paper. So I went ahead and cut up the other sheet of patterned paper and created a few cards. So here's a few of the cards that I have put together. So I'll just show you a bit close up. This one here has used a beautiful little stamp from an Operation Smile set we had quite a long time ago. I think it was 2 years ago. This one here, if you've got it in your stash, it is a gorgeous one for doing outline stamping with. And then I brought in the Celebrate Everything from that fun word set, Remember This Moment, that we were just using in the layout. So there's the Celebrate Everything. that I kept it really simple, but this time I pulled the diagonal of the stripes, turned them around and pulled it along, did a little bit of sponging, and again celebrate everything. So actually quite a good masculine card, that one. This one I've actually pulled in a new die cut. So we have got this gorgeous card making kit, and it is called Sweet Memories card making, but within it we've got some fabulous die cuts. So this one, I was drawn to the stamp set because of the doily and because of this flourish. And to me that flourish is actually very similar to our koru style of thing going on too with Kiwiana. So that looks really cool. And then we have got this one here pulling on that same stamp set using the stamp itself with the flourish as well as the little flourish that we did, the cute little butterfly and the titling. But this time I have used what was left over after cutting this one up to decorate the background. And then we had one final one that I put together, just going back to our diagonal, our horizontal stripes, but pulling on the florals from the set. So there's a gorgeous floral cluster which I stamped directly to the background paper here, and then I stamped onto the die cut. And then the flourish I have done this time in just a very light pink along with the sentiment. So that is using one kit. I have managed to create a double page layout. I'll just spread these out for your benefit. Double page layout and 5 cards. And in fact I still have, I believe, just a little tad of stripy paper left, which I've put those stickers on, so I can probably make another couple of cards out of that as well. So just giving you a little idea of how you can play around with these cut above card kits, scrapbook kits, to make them work for you. I hope that gave you some inspiration too. Thanks for watching.